Hi, I'm Russell Hassan. Today I'm going to be talking about Drizzt, who is a character in a very famous series of fantasy novels by R.A. Salvatore, set in the Forgotten Realms, which is a setting for Dungeons and Dragons, and which is also the setting for many novels and video games, including the Drizzt series of novels. So Drizzt is a very famous character, and many people in fantasy know about him. He's been around for decades, and the novels are very famous. So I'd like to talk about the reason why Drizzt is such a successful character, and really, the point that I'd like to make is that Drizzt captures a lot of what nerds really like about the main characters in fantasy novels, which is that Drizzt is an outcast and a loner. So he's from the land of the Dark Elves in the Underdark, but the Dark Elves are evil and he's good. So he sort of becomes an outcast and leaves and is exiled. And then in the surface world, he becomes a great hero, but he's still retains this quality of being like an outcast and a loner, which I think a lot of people in nerd culture can really relate to. But then they like to see him sort of blossom and become this popular, famous, successful hero in these novels. And then the other thing that I don't think people realize, and yes, I am going to say this, and yes, I do mean it, is that there's a certain racial element to Drizzt that the elves in the surface world are essentially white and dark elves are, black. And so Drizzt being a dark elf on the surface makes him sort of a racial outcast. And it sort of speaks to a certain racial inclusiveness, which I think a lot of people in nerd culture sort of aspire to, but which they feel the culture falls short of. And so these novels give them a way to express their desire for racial equality, which historically Dungeons and Dragons had issues with race and racism dating back to its founders, and even the use of the word race in like a Dungeons and Dragons character sheet is itself racially charged. And historically, the founders and creators of Dungeons and Dragons had some issues with race, and that's why in the edition of Dungeons and Dragons that's coming out, they're going to change the word race to the word species. But people in the culture, in nerd culture, know that this issue is there, and that's why having a dark elf as a hero sort of like inspired an entire generation of Dungeons and Dragons players to sort of dream big about racial equality and to sort of move past the origins of the game. And I know that the people I'm talking about, the creators of Dungeons and Dragons, were libertarians, and so am I. So I'm not trying to like be negative about them or to hate on them, but I mean, if you do the historical research, you can find that these issues did exist. And so that I think is one of the big reasons why Drizzt is such a popular character. And if you want to read one of the novels featuring that character, I recommend The Crystal Shard as a good place to start. So thank you for watching this video. Please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, and thank you.